You know Shaletta makes you laugh, but did you know Shaletta Brundage can also make you think and boost your business? Media personality, activist, and comedian Shaletta Brundage founded Shaletta Makes Me Laugh to celebrate and share the best of Black culture. It's a podcasting platform. You can download 10 weekly podcasts hosted by African-American subject experts at ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com is also a production house, creating broadcast-quality commercial content. And Shaletta and her team of storytellers create powerful promotional campaigns to get businesses the brand awareness they're looking for. Some of Minnesota's top businesses trust Shaletta, and you can too. Get out the word about your events and products and get in front of communities of color with ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com. She's got the power to help your business.
Want your boss to put some real action behind the rhetoric when they talk about making your workplace more inclusive? Find out how to hold their feet to the fire and demand diversity on the Diversity Dude podcast.
Hello there, and welcome back to the Diversity Dude podcast, recognized as one of the top 100 diversity and inclusion podcasts in the U.S. I'm your host, Lambert Fisher, marriage and family therapist, award-winning author, and national speaker on the topic of multicultural awareness and diversity. And whether it be through my one-on-one relationship building efforts as a therapist or my informing and empowering efforts as an author and speaker, know that my personal mission is to do my part to improve the world one strengthened relationship at a time. So today I'd like to share with you a few thoughts about choosing who to culturally trust. People all over the country are still reeling from the recent gutting of the Voting Rights Act. Some are focusing on what it means in light of the monumental efforts of the civil rights movement to put it in place in the first place many years ago. Some are focusing on the believed motivations that led to it and the consequent conclusions drawn regarding how people feel about those in this country who come from different cultural backgrounds. And many others are focusing on what likelihood there is that this move is just one of many strategic efforts to systematically benefit some and disadvantage others. In the end, what remains are a lot more questions than answers, and a lot of uncertainty in the midst of an ongoing effort to feel safe in the society, especially when you don't know where people stand on certain issues and consequently who you can trust to have your best interest at heart. So, since trust is a conversation I'm therapeutically very familiar with, I'd like to take the next few moments to share a few thoughts on how you can choose who to culturally trust. Consideration number one is this: determine what you believe. Trust involves aligning yourself with other like minded individuals or groups. When you are aligned with similar motivations and similar goals, you can move forward together, trusting that those shared motivations and goals will lead you to a mutually beneficial outcome. However, if you can't identify who shares your motivations and goals, you can't do this if you haven't taken the time to determine your own motivations and goals, which you hope to be aligned. To be clear, this isn't a once and for all challenge, for you can more likely learn more over time, and the more likely it is that you do so, the more your motivations and goals may evolve over time, hopefully for the better. And yes, for some, that evolution may align with the evolution of others for continued partnership. And for others, that evolution may lead to a parting of ways. But if done well, even that parting of ways can be done with respect. Either way, cultural trust is best built when multiple individuals or groups know themselves well enough to be able to share with themselves in hopes of unity and collaboration. Speaking of sharing, as I'm a fan of healthy boundaries, that sharing is not done completely and vulnerably all at once. Instead, it's best done cautiously, but with hope of reciprocity. And trust can be built over time through slowly increased trust and trustworthy actions in response. Which brings me to consideration number two: watch how people respond. Even as I recommend cautiously sharing who you are, what you believe, and what you hope will be, as the only way for a cultural trust to ever have a chance to be built, the key in this is in sharing is providing an opportunity for a response you can see, a response that will tell you something about them. You see, you can share all you want and feel good about what you share, letting your own voice confirm your belief because it makes sense to you. Even more so, if you surround yourself with like minded people whose beliefs and values you already know, you can feel even more better. Even to the point of concluding that the majority of people there are believe similarly, not realizing that you don't actually know if you're in the majority, only that the majority of people around you believe those same things. No, the real learning and potential trust building comes when you share of yourself with someone whose values and beliefs you don't already know. For it is then when it is their interactions, their reactions and responses to what they discover about you that will tell you the most about whether it's wise to trust more or prudent for you to trust less. In this way, sharing is only in part a gift of a portion of yourself to the other person, while also in part being a measured, evaluative relational tool, creating the opportunity for a response that will tell you what you should do next: trust more or trust less. Which brings me to consideration number three. When people show you who they are, believe them. A famous quote by Maya Angelou declares, when someone shares or shows you who they are, believe them the first time. Her advice recommends that we trust people's actions, behaviors, character, revelations over their words and your own idealized hopes for who they'll be. As a marriage counselor, this phrase has always been layered because I have a great appreciation for what people do as well as what people say in their efforts to learn who they are and how much they can be trusted. However, we don't have to delete the value of words altogether to place a slightly higher value on their actions. I've seen people say things with their words and genuinely believe them, while their actions tell a different story. While there are definitely times when the discrepancy between words and actions accurately reflect intentional deceit, there are also many times when there are other situational barriers that get in the way of their genuine intentions, resulting in different things than their desired actions. And yet, while this understanding contributes to a sense of empathy I may have for them, or a genuine desire to help identify and remove potential barriers that may hinder trust building actions, I also know that until these barriers, if they are legitimate, are addressed, it is perfectly reasonable for trust to be on hold and reserved for those whose behaviors have warranted such. So, if we are to follow Maya Angelou's advice, listen and watch. But if their words and their actions don't align, then their actions are more likely to impact you and are worth valuing more. This is where recent legal and political decisions have caused significant uncertainty regarding who to trust, as well as people's sense of safety in a society. For many people went to sleep believing that they lived in an imperfect world, but also believing that they lived largely among like minded people in a society that has made a lot of progress, having put certain unequal and divisive values, beliefs, and desires behind us on a path in the direction of admittedly slow but ever improving circumstances for everyone equally. And these same people woke up and discovered that not that things had changed overnight with the results of one vote by a select number of our country's leaders. No, that's not what changed overnight. No, they woke up to discover that recent actions had only revealed long-standing beliefs, values, and motivations that had been there for years, not just in shared environments, but all over. As a result, trust is being questioned, safety is being questioned, uncertainty feels inevitable. And I'm here to say that this feeling is okay. This feeling is legitimate. This feeling is in many ways necessary, not as a reason for discouragement or loss of hope, but as a spark that can help many to be used to build comfortable trust in the sameness that doesn't exist in many other ways previously, but in a new way. Instead, they can move into a measured trust building action to find out who they can trust to have their best interest at heart and who they can't in an intentional way. And instead of just hoping that things work out in your favor, like minded individuals can work together to make the changes that are necessary to positively impact everyone. And no, I'm not talking about one side against another. Instead, the goal can be working together in search of the best good for everyone, not just some. With all that being said, my hope for you is that you would learn to build trust selectively, not in blind hope and vulnerability, but also not in rigid pessimism either. Identify who you are and what you value. Find out what is safest to share and seek out like minded individuals who you can trust more and more over time. Learn about those who believe differently while you're at it. And even if you have different methods or preferences, do your best to use your increasing trust over time to make action that benefit everyone you interact with in some way. One more, a little bit more, one day at a time. And with that, I'll say thanks again for listening to today's Diversity Do podcast. If you found it to be positive and insightful, then be sure to like and subscribe so I'll know which topics you'd like me to address more on in the future and share with a friend so they can be encouraged as well. To find out how you can cultivate a culturally safe work environment for you and your team, visit lambertsfisher.com/playbook for a free guide. You can also learn more in my award-winning book, Diversity in Clinical Practice, which offers unique ways to positively address the often divisive topic of diversity, equipping helping professionals like you in your efforts to meet the greatest variety of cultural needs possible for those whom you serve. And if you haven't heard it yet, I invite you to visit TED.com and check out my talk called What to Do When You Offend Someone, where I offer a positive and practical perspective on how to navigate unintentional offenses in daily life. To date, it's been viewed over 500,000 times. Check it out for yourself. If you find it encouraging, share it with a friend so that they can be encouraged as well. And as usual, I look forward to addressing as many topics as possible in future podcasts to help you improve as many relationships as possible at work, at home, and in your community. And as always, remember this: you don't need to know everything about everyone in order to have a positive impact on someone. Thank you all for tuning in, and have a great day.
Tune in each week and find out how to demand and implement diversity at your job. To hear more, check out previous Diversity Dude shows on ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com.
Welcome to Old National Bank.
I understand you're all about protection.
Well, we protect you in all kinds of ways, with advanced fraud monitoring and secure digital banking to protect you today, and with dedicated personal bankers to protect your tomorrow.
I'm impressed.
Protection for today and tomorrow.
Could I just...
Oh, go for it.
Old National Bank. Just another reason to get old.
Where'd you get this?
It came with my couch.
It's Shaletta Brundage, Minnesota's autism mom. I need you to help me help stop Medicaid fraud. If your child needs autism services, choose a provider carefully. Legitimate providers won't pressure you to sign up, offer you gift cards, or contact you unexpectedly for personal information. Instead, a good provider will develop an individualized plan for your child and communicate with you regularly. If your child receives autism services, make sure the services are actually provided. Watch your mail for those explanation of benefits letters, right? They show you the services billed under your child's name. Look that thing over. Did your child get all of the services on the dates listed? Now listen, if you have concerns, trust your instincts and report suspected fraud to the Minnesota Department of Human Services at mn.gov/DHS/report-fraud. Or you can always give them a call at 1-800-657-3750.
When she walked in on her first day at Doherty Family College at the University of St. Thomas, she didn't know a soul.
I'm Zion, and I'm a second year at DFC.
A year later, and so many changes for Zion.
I love my friends here. I couldn't do anything without them. We support each other all the time.
At Doherty Family College, Zion also finds support on the academic side. Like all DFC students, Zion can count on a team committed to her success. Doherty Family College is Minnesota's affordable private college option. DFC students earn their associate's degree and then can transition to a 4-year college or university for their bachelor's. Many are students of color or first in their family to go to college.
It's nice to see people that look like you pursuing an education, wanting to succeed academically.
Zion encourages any high school student looking for a college home to do what she did and apply to Doherty Family College.
All the support you can need is here.
Ready to make your move and experience Doherty Family College for yourself? Then schedule your visit to the Minneapolis campus at dfc.stthomas.edu/visit.
Hi, it's easy to just make an ad that tells you to quit smoking. See?
Action!
Easy as that!
Sure is! Yeah!
But let's be real, quitting is hard. It's messy, frustrating, but every struggle is actually a victory. At Quit Partner, you get free tools from people who get it. We're not going to tell you it's easy, just that when you're ready, you've got a partner to help you get it done.